welcome in. It is day 279, and you're speaking to the Meeples Champion. And today, we're going to be going over a game that was a small pickup I got at PAX East. It was actually the Sunday pickup, where a lot of locations were starting to try to really clear out. They understand that at the end of PAX East, repacking up all what they have left and bringing it back can be a lot of money, especially these days when it comes to shipping prices. So some places start to pick certain games and discount them, or in the case of this smaller game, they just gave it to me for free. So it wasn't a game I had on my radar, but I ended up getting it anyways. The game is called Windmill Cute Secrets. Now, this game's pretty straightforward. If you've played Dixit before, I feel like that's a good comparison, but not an exact copy of this. The idea is that you've got two decks of identical cards. There's the large ones and the small ones. You're going to shuffle the large ones and you're going to make a 5x5 grid. Now, you're going to have somebody be the first player, and that player is going to shuffle up the small deck and draw one card from the top. They now, according to the rules, the setup is you have 30 seconds or roughly 4 sentences to make a little story about your card. And then, starting to the player to your left, they have to pick a card. So they're going to draw one of these 25 cards, and if they're correct, they'll score a point and you'll score a point. If they're incorrect, then they keep the card they drew, and now the next player only has 24 to choose from. And now there's a chance for them to score 2 points and you to score 2 points. So basically, depending on the position of the guess, you have that many points given to you and them. It's easiest for the first person, so they only get a shot at 1 point, and all that you matter is you match the person who scores. However, 2 contingencies kick in on this. One is, if nobody gets it, you lose a point. You need somebody to get it right. The second is, there is a windmill card. Now, the windmill card works as, if somebody is positive that they are right, they pull the windmill card. If they are correct, then they're going to get whatever the points are they normally would have gotten, +1, and you score nothing. So you don't want to be too clear, because if you have somebody who's in, say, if you're playing 5 players, you have the 4th position, they're going for 4 points, and they decide, oh, I know what card it is. The first 3 people have taken out anything that I was thinking it might have been. I know it's this one. I'm going to take this card. I'm going to guarantee you I'm right. I'm going to guess it. Now I get 4 + 1 is 5, and you get nothing. That's not going to help you win. So that's a reason to tell a good story, but not too clear of a story. However, the windmill card comes with a negative. If they're wrong, then they lose a point. So that is going to come back and hit the person. So they're not going to just grab it willy-nilly. They want to make sure if they're taking a shot, they're positive, which is why your job is to make a good story, but not a story that's too obvious. So that's the basics. Otherwise, you just play this game until eventually you've finished up the round you're playing. So in a 5-player game, then that would mean 2 rounds. Each player gets to be the person in charge once, 10 total turns. So once that's done, you then look, you see who has the most points, they're the winner. In the case of a tie, this game does not have tiebreakers. It's just a shared victory. Well, why don't we jump in? Let's talk our 7 categories and see where this game lands for us. When it comes to the art, I think it's pretty straightforward. The box is small. It's not like it's a huge production, but it's a cute box. I like the owl. I like the coloring. And the inside of this game is literally, like Dixit, all about the art. All of these are really well crafted, good designs. I love it. It's a thumbs up. Your components. So your components are roughly 2 different sized cards for decks, and they're really good, top quality. I'd say this is on the same level as Dixit in that regard, as well as you've got a cardboard piece for your first player marker. You've got a cardboard piece to the side for your scoring, and you've got 5 windmills that are wooden for each player to be able to move on the scoring. It's all really good quality. Thumbs up. Price. This is available. I actually looked it up. It looks like there's 2 or 3 of these from the company, so I think they can combine and they have different rule sets. But they are not that expensive. You're talking about $15. And it's a game that, if you like Dixit, this is another great one to bring in to give you a little bit of a shift. I feel like Dixit, you get a lot of these games are about the one word. It's nice to have something that's a little different, that's allowing you a story. So you can play kind of the same idea as Dixit, but you're getting a chance to do this in a totally different manner in that regard. I really like that idea, and the scoring is a little different too. I like that. It changes it up. I like it when you get a little change up. Thumbs up on that price. It's going to be available for anybody. Your difficulty. So this is really good for beginners and for experienced. I think that because of the way it's designed, if you're big into stories or if you like family night, experts will enjoy it. And same with kids. If they like playing games with their parents, if they like a good story, like this might be something that's fun and gets their creativity out. Thumbs up. Replayability. Now the game, well, it doesn't seem like it's a very large box. The way you're talking about this, if you're playing 5-player and it's 30-second story and you're doing 10 of these, that's already 5 minutes. Then there's going to be the one-by-one people guessing. So, analysis paralysis will kick in. Let's say there's up to four people can guess. I doubt you're going to get to the fourth person every time, but let's say you're averaging 2. I mean, you might be looking at this game taking 15, 20 minutes, which I would say is bare minimum. And I could see it taking a lot longer than that because I think that there's a lot of people who will stop, analyze, talk about it, take some time. You're going to have to reset up this grid every time. That setup's not going to be short. Not that that's a 5-minute production, but it might be 30 to 60 seconds of, do a shuffle, put the cards out, and you're going to have to do that 10 times. So all of a sudden you're talking about realistically, this is about a half-hour game. And I think for that, you're going to have some replayability in the same day, but people might get kind of bored of having to keep shuffling, keep guessing, keep telling stories. This may not be one you're doing a bunch in a row, but I could see this one being a fun fill-in on a family game night, holiday party. I feel like family stuff is where this kicks in. So I will say there's replayability there. Thumbs up. Keys to Victory. So it's a good game, but the Keys to Victory is about storytelling, which can be a little weak because not everybody's great at telling a story. I've written a couple books. I enjoy telling stories. So for me, this is a great game that I was not expecting to pick up, didn't know anything about, but I'm actually excited to try. But compared to Dixit, which is so open because it's just about putting out a word, this one makes it a lot harder when you have to come up with 30 seconds of trying to tell a little bit of a tale, and you're trying to actually get people to kind of figure out what you're going for. Not everybody's going to be able to figure that out. Not everybody's going to be able to tell a story. I think the keys to victory are there. The problem is that it's extremely limited when most people who play this aren't going to be able to understand the keys. Thumbs down. Is the game unique? Again, I've been comparing this to Dixit. I think Dixit is the best comparison. But when I really think about it, Dixit is about everybody picking a card, the person who initially put together the guess putting out a card, trying to get people to guess yours, trying to go out to theirs. This is totally different. You never have any access to anything. You have nothing you can remove from those initial grids. But now you do have elimination of cards because of people being able to go in order and pick. Difference in point scoring. Higher point scoring for you and for the person who had the card. There's a lot going on here that I haven't seen in a Dixit or another game quite like that I really like and think is unique. So for now, until I find another game that really comes up and bumps against this, thumbs up. Overall, what do I think? I think the game's nice. I think that its name kind of gets right to it. It's a cute little secret game. And I think that it's a game that definitely will fit with families. I'm not sure if friends or game groups are really looking for this, but I think family will enjoy it. I think it's one that's worth trying. And if you find it and it's 15 or less, just buy it. It's not a big cost, and it will be one that will be fun to try. And maybe you can figure out, even if it doesn't hit huge for you, doesn't mean you can't find out that you have somebody in the family who might be a little bit more creative than you thought. And this gives a chance to kind of showcase that. And that's always something that's great to find if somebody has a talent for speaking, for telling a story. Well, it has been day 279, and we've been speaking about the game Windmill's Cute Secrets. And you've been speaking to the Meeples Champion. Like, share, subscribe, and check down below in the description. I'll be adding an Amazon link in case you want to get this game for your collection. Until next time, I'll talk to you tomorrow.